All right, let's talk about the business plan. We're going to completely reframe it from this thing you dread writing into what is maybe the most powerful tool you have for turning a great idea into a real fundable company.
First things first, if the phrase business plan makes you picture some dusty 50-page binder that you write once and then shove in a drawer, yeah, let's just delete that image from your brain right now. That is the old way of thinking.
Instead, I want you to start thinking of your business plan as a strategic roadmap. It's your GPS for navigating the, let's be honest, profound uncertainty that comes with any new venture. This isn't just a document, it's a living, breathing tool for getting you from A to B.
And it serves two absolutely critical functions. Internally, it is that roadmap. It keeps your team aligned, it guides your decisions. But externally, and this is so important, it's the main way you're going to attract investors and get the capital you need to actually grow. But here's the thing, you don't start by writing a novel. The modern way to do this is all about being agile. You gotta start lean. Before you pour a ton of time and money into an idea, you have to prove it's a good one. And that's where a fantastic framework called the Lean Canvas comes into play.
The genius of the Lean Canvas is that it forces you to start with the single most important question: what is the problem? You have to nail down a real urgent pain point that a specific customer has. Because if there's no problem, there's no business. It's really that simple.
And only after you have clearly defined that nagging problem do you even think about the solution. Your product, your service, it has to be a direct, clear, and compelling answer to that pain point you just identified.
Next up, you've got to define your unique value proposition, or your UVP. Now, this is not just a list of features, this is the very core of your identity. It's that one single, powerful message that explains why you're different and why a customer should pick you over anybody else.
And this leads us to what investors really want to see: your unfair advantage. This is your secret sauce. It's your defensive mode. It's that thing that can't be easily bought or copied. We're talking patents, proprietary data, a once-in-a-lifetime team. This is what proves your business can actually last.
So this brings us to a super important point. You gotta pick the right tool for the job. Just think of the Lean Canvas as your agile little speedboat. It's for moving fast and validating your idea. The traditional, super detailed plan, that's the huge cargo ship you build later once you know where you're going and you need to convince big banks and serious investors.
Okay, so once you've used that lean approach to prove your core idea isn't crazy, it's time to build a rigorous, data-driven case. This is where you graduate from an educated guess to having verifiable proof.
Your market analysis just can't be based on feelings or guesswork. You need to answer these questions with hard data. How big is your market, really? What's happening in the economy? Who are you really competing against? You have to use credible sources like the US Census Business Builder to back up every single claim you make. And that data-driven mindset leads us right into the financials. Let me tell you, this is where investors separate the dreamers from the people who can actually execute. To get this right, you have to learn to see the numbers through their eyes.
The very first metric they're going to hunt for is your net burn rate. This is without a doubt one of the most critical numbers for a startup survival. It's the actual amount of cash you're losing every month, and it tells you exactly how long you have to live, what VCs call your runway.
So let's look at a few of these crucial metrics. Net burn tells an investor how fast you're draining your cash. That directly calculates your runway, how many months you can keep the lights on. And then you have the burn multiple, which shows how efficient you are. How much cash are you burning to get one new dollar of revenue? These are the numbers that scream financial discipline or a lack of it.
Now, listen closely, because this is a trap that so many founders fall into. It is a fatal, fatal error to think that profit and cash are the same thing. They are not, especially not in the early days of a company.
So here's the simple difference. Profit is an accounting idea. It's what you've earned on paper. But cash flow is reality. It's the actual physical money in your bank account that you need to pay salaries, to pay rent, to pay your suppliers. You can actually be profitable and still go bankrupt because you ran out of cash.
So, when it comes time to build your financial model, you have to avoid what investors call spreadsheet magic. You know, those wild, top-down forecasts that just seem too good to be true. They see right through it. Instead, you have to build your projections from the bottom up, grounding them in real-world unit economics, like the lifetime value of a customer, LTV, and your customer acquisition cost, or CAC. And all of this brings us to maybe the most important takeaway. Your business plan is not a static artifact you frame on the wall. It's the starting point of a continuous cycle. You plan, you execute, and you iterate.
The real magic, the real work, happens inside this loop. You launch a minimum viable product. You obsessively monitor your key metrics. You actually talk to your users and gather feedback. And then, this is the crucial part, you go back and you adjust the plan. It's a living process.
So if you remember just one thing, let it be this. The value of your business plan isn't in the final document itself, but in the ongoing process of planning. It's a blueprint that is meant to be challenged, to be updated, to be refined. It is your guide, not your gospel.
In the end, a great business plan gives you clarity and the confidence to actually turn that big idea into a reality. It's your strategic roadmap built for the journey ahead. So, the only question left is, where will it take you?